Greg Shoemaker, TriStateFootball.com, here at Norwood High School with head coach Chris Majors, who enters his third season as the Indians head coach. And Chris, last year 10-2, got to the playoffs, won your first victory ever for the school in the playoffs. I mean, what a great year! And building on that success, let's talk a little bit about the program and all the good things that have happened since then.
We made great strides last year, and the biggest thing here was just changing a culture as far as having that winning attitude. And the guy, this has been the best off season we've had. Our numbers have gone up as far as how many kids we have in our program, which is going to help us on Friday night have some depth, allow us not to play so many guys both ways. But the guys continue to get better, and they want more. But they got a taste of it last year, and it's been great to see that they want more this year, that they want to prove to people last year wasn't just a fluke, that we're here to compete every single year.
Yeah, and you look at some of those kids. Let's talk about that senior class, because we were talking to a lot of them earlier, and they really do seem to have this attitude that this is the beginning of something special. For them, their role as leaders, I mean, a lot of them were leaders already, but how's their roles going to expand this offseason or in 2013?
The leadership has to be even more present. We're going to have to, we have a lot of young guys that are going to have to step in and fill positions. So it's going to be on them to, it's one thing to hear it from the coach, but it means more when they hold each other accountable, and we've started to see that through the whole off season. And now that the other sports have wound down, we have everybody back, and they just continue to build on that and to teach those younger guys how things need to be done.
When you look at last season and the final game against Fenwick, or the final win, your last home game in the playoffs against Fenwick, your team was in the game, but it seemed like a struggle most of the way, but they had their composure, and a lot of that comes from the coach and just the demeanor of the coach. But what do you do to prepare those guys to stay calm in those situations? Because they really were calm when things could have unraveled quickly against a team like Fenwick.
We asked them to believe in our plan, believe in our game plan, believe in the things that we stand for here, and that things are going to go bad. There's going to be adversity, but you can't get flustered. You can't get frustrated and want to shut down and want to give up. That if you just stay the course and just play the next play, that good things eventually will happen.
And something that comes out of that too is humility. When I look at a kid like Jared Peters, and they seem to be grounded, and I think that's a big aspect. And I think winning has a lot to do with that. What are your takes on that humility that these kids seem to have?
I think it's extremely important. I think you win with class and you lose with class, and that's something that we've hammered into their heads, and we'll continue that no matter what, we want to be a first-class program with everything we do.
Let's talk about the offense in 2013. Andrew Conover, the quarterback's coming back. Jared Peters, we talked about, fine wide receiver, spread out offense. It seems like the kids love to play in it. But talk about that side of the football and what you got coming back.
No, we're excited for our offense this year. I mean, we'll have a quarterback in Andrew, who's been a 3-year starter. We have Jacob Cook, who was an all-SBAAC receiver, back on offense, as well as Jared. Armani Lee had some key carries down the stretch in some of those big games for us, really stepped up when Gabe Rice needed a break. We bring back Bo Harkins and Zach Ashford on the offensive line. And we have some young guys that are going to get their opportunities, that are pretty good players, to step in there and perform for us.
Defensively, you're not the biggest group up front, but one thing I did notice about your squad last year was they were solid tackling the football. Talk about those guys in 2013 on defense.
Yeah, we lost a lot on defense. We lost 8 starters off our defense. We have some skill guys coming back in the secondary, but up front, some guys are going to have to step up. We have Hunter Marksberry will probably step up at one of our linebacker spots for a Gabe Rice, for Jonathan Biggers, as well as a couple sophomores that are in the mix there. But we don't have those big guys up front, so we rely more on our speed and our athleticism, pursuing, getting to the ball, and getting as many hats as possible on the football.
Your schedule this year, you start off in the showdown against Madeira. I really like your opportunity early on in your schedule to get some Harbin points. Talk about what you like about the schedule this season.
It's our schedule is vastly improved as far as the quality of opponent that we're going to play this year. We start off right out of the gate with Madeira, who has been a playoff team the last 2 years. They've won the CHL. I have a tremendous amount of respect for Coach Schaefer and his staff and what they do there. So game one, right out of the gate, that's going to be a tremendous challenge for us. After Taylor, we go to our rival game with Purcell, and just knowing they were a very young team last year, returned a lot of starters, have a very special player playing quarterback for them. So another big game for us. And then our third game against Taylor, another CHL team, which we haven't fared too well against those teams. So we need to up our game. And I know Taylor is a team on the rise, a very physical team. And once again, it's going to be a huge challenge for us before we get into our league.
One last question before I let you go. When you could give us a couple words to describe what you're looking forward to most with your 2013 squad.
Just getting back out on the field. Our loss in the regional semifinals last year left a pretty bad taste in my mouth, as well as our players' mouths. So I'm just looking forward to getting back out on the field and trying to get that out of my mouth. So
there you go. Chris Majors, the head coach of the Norwood Indians.